YouTube, by the way, if anybody want to go check it out or play it for your children because it's a dope cartoon. Anyway, but my daughter seen last night. She was like, Mom, that's my favorite episode right there. So I was like, let me tap on that one because I don't think I ever seen this one. And I don't think I did. I seen a lot of them, but not this one. So anyway, the story, you got the monkeys illustrating the story, and the monkeys are like the babies or the kids. So they telling you from their point of view how did certain animals get a certain way. So basically this episode was about a snake shedding its old skin, and why does a snake shed skin. So in the beginning of the story, the snake was just slithering and minding his business, and boom, come running towards him as a stampede of animals. You got elephants, you got rhinoceros, you got big animals coming towards him. Boom, they running, and the elephant accidentally step on the snake, step on him in the middle of his body. I mean, flatten him just like a pancake. He can't even slither no more. So boom, everybody scared. Everybody like, oh my God, man, you done stepped on that dude, bro. What we finna do? You know what I'm saying? So boom, Tortoise is like, the wise teacher. So everybody asking Tortoise what to do. So Tortoise like, slowly, slowly, lift your foot up and then run. And so everybody like, okay, so boom, elephant take his foot up, they take off running. But of course, Tortoise is slow, so he don't run, he just hide in his shell. So boom, Snake a little out, cold, unconscious for a second. So he wake up, he's like, oh my God, oh, so somebody please help me, please. And Tortoise is like, bro, I ain't coming out my shell. You know what I'm saying? I'm scared of you. So everybody standing back like, man, what we gonna do? He finna come get her, man. He finna attack her. He finna, because everybody been taught that the snake is bad. So boom, out of everybody, the jaguar comes to him and she says, I'll help you, but only if you promise me one thing, not to bite me. He said, the only time I bite people is when I feel in danger or I feel threatened. So she said, okay. So she picked him up. She said, I'm going to take you back to my cave because I can help you. So she take him back to her cave. Everybody's scared because it's like, oh my God, please be careful, Jaguar. We don't want him to, bite you. So she takes him back to the cave and she says, give me a second. I'll be back. I got to go get you something to eat because, you need to eat to replenish your energy. So he was like, okay, cool. So she go get him a peach. She give it to him. He eat it and his body puffs back up. So he was so excited and he was just so thrilled and telling her thank you. And he was like, wait a minute, I have something to show you. And he sheds his layer of skin in front of her. And she was like, oh my God, that is so beautiful. I've never seen something like that ever in my life. And she was like, I wish I had a coat like that. My coat is just plain black. I don't have any designs on me. And so he said, well, is that what your heart truly desires? And she says, yes. And he said, okay, well, my friend, I need you to trust me. One last time, I need you to trust me. So boom. She said, okay. He said, I'm going to need to nick your tail. Not bite you, but just nick it. And she said, okay. She turned around with such glee. She closed her eyes and he nicked her tail. He said, did you feel that? She said, no, not at all. And she began to get a little drowsy and he started singing her this beautiful song and she fell asleep. When she woke up the next morning, her coat was completely changed. And so, like, basically, that was his reward for her act of kindness. And she was like, I don't know how I'll ever repay you, and this and this and that. So, boom, he was like, well, I have to leave and get back out because I feel like I want to just slither all over the place. So he leaves the cave. And she said, come back and visit me. And then, boom, lion and monkey on the way to look for Jaguar because they like, we ain't seen her since she took off with Snake. We don't know if she's still alive or not. So, boom, they go to her cave, and they's like, Jaguar. And she's like, I'm in here, and come in. And she's so gorgeous that monkey and lion was like practically drooling over her beauty. And she rubbed her tail up against the lion's nose. And she said, Lion, are you okay? What the matter? Lion said, oh my God, you're even more beautiful than you were before. And she said, yes, thanks to my new friend Snake. And she told him about it. And the monkey was like, you have to come back to the jungle and show everybody. You have to come to Tinka Tinka and tell everybody. She said, well, monkey, you know I like to keep me to me. I like to stay me to me, basically stay personal. And he was like, but come in, you have to tell them. She said, no, you tell them. He said, but they would never believe me. She said, they will now. And she gave him the old snake skin to show them as proof that he shed his old layer. So the moral of the story is that if a snake does not shed his layer, he can suffer and risk dying, like literally. So It's like a caterpillar. If a caterpillar doesn't go into the cocoon, they're just a worm, right? So the moral of the story is when you are trying to shed things that is not serving you or that has torn you down, that's just not good for you altogether, and the universe is trying to get you to shed that old layer or die, it's up to you to choose which one you gonna do, because you don't have to keep that plain black coat if you don't want to. You can actually get spots in a design if that's what you desire. But you have to be willing to shed that old layer of yourself in order to get a new layer, a new coat. You feel a new design. You feel me? So, we've always been taught that, signs and symbols of snakes are bad and negative. But truth be told, there's a reason for everything. Every animal on this planet, there is a spiritual meaning for it. And snakes do come to represent sometimes shedding old layers, old things, old ways of being, old people, places, and things. Just that simple, y'all. So do not be afraid to shed that old layer. And we know it won't be easy, but it will be well worth it when it's done. I love y'all. Happy shedding.